Alright guys, I'm an animation channel now. This is my animation. So you're just going to watch this guy slide across the screen as I tell you about the image in the background. A Darkness of Dragons. One of the best books on earth. I think it is just sad that this book even never got a film. How did Moana get a film, but this masterpiece didn't get a film? How did the Lorax get a film, but this masterpiece of work did not get a film? So I'm going to summarise the entire book, or probably around half of it in this episode. Okay, let me just clear my throat. It sounded more like I just died. Okay, are we ready? So, village is screaming. The entire village is screaming. And there's a snow monster. Greta, who's the village elder, smashes the snow monster around the face. And now the reason I'm not animating any of this is because it's up for you to decide what that means. So the villagers drag the snow beast back and realise that it's a little boy and that he's a piper. In this world, pipers can make magic by playing. So he's taken to like a cell or something, like a cell bedroom, and there he meets Greta. He wakes up after being unconscious for 2 days. So Greta gives him his pipe and his coat and says, "You have amnesia. You have come here to save my village." And he's like, "Sure, why not?" So he tries to save their village by using the dream, which fills the target's mind, the rats, with their greatest desires. And then he makes those desires in a river, so that they hopefully walk into the river and fall off the waterfall that's downstream. But that doesn't work because they are sitting in the food storehouse, so they already are in their dream. So then he's like, okay, I'm just going to use this illegal song. But he doesn't tell that to Greta. He just says it's quite unusual, not it's quite illegal, and it will get you arrested for 10 years. So, him still having amnesia, he doesn't know this yet, but he's already played that song 100 times. So yeah, he's got quite the sentence and bounty on his hands. So, he plays the dance, the illegal song, after the Holman Piper, of course, used it to take away the Holman children. The dance became illegal among piping. So, he goes and uses the dance, and it's working. The rats are going into the river to float downstream and die out the waterfall. But there's a problem. The villagers started dancing, and the villagers started floating downstream towards the waterfall. So Patch tries to make it stop, but it won't work. So he has to snap his pipe to stop the song instantly. And if the villagers are super angry at him, so he just runs, despite Greta saying, "Do not run. They will hunt you down like a pack of wolves." He's like, "Nope, I'm gonna run." So he trips in the snow, and the villagers are about to just yeet him down the waterfall. But suddenly someone comes. And this someone is like Custodians. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's something like the Custodian Elite. I literally read this book yesterday. How can I not remember it? But yeah, the Custodians Elite, that's what I'm calling them, find him in the snow, and they take him to a prison cell. But he passed out from the trip over. So then his best friend Erna, or used to be best friend, walks into the cell wearing Custard and Elite robes. So he's like, "Oh wow, you have finally graduated. You got the Custard and Elite." "Yes, I did." "Who's your leader?" "Rundle Stone." In this universe, Rundle Stone is pretty much evil. He's known as the cold heart of justice. And so he's like, oh no. So yeah, he unamnesias himself somehow. And he remembers that he played the dance like a quadrillion times. And he's about to confess when Erna just gives him this look like, I already know. And so does Rundle Stone. So yeah, then they leave on horseback. Oh no, first, there's a rat. A rat, it's a girl that's been cursed into the form of a rat. You don't know yet, but all she says is, help me, you will be well rewarded. And Rundle Stone goes out to clear away the rats, and he uses the dispersal, the hardest song to do in the world. But it's quick and it's efficient. It kills the rats instantly. Not even a speck of blood remains. They're turned to dust. So, yeah. Obviously, Wren, who we find out her name is, so I'm just going to refer to her as Wren. So, Patch Brightwater, which is the name of the main character. Please ignore Baby Annabelle. But yeah, Patch Brightwater. That's his name. Saves Wren by using a counter song that counters the dispersal. And now they ride off on horseback. So, he wonders if it would have been better if he just died in the snow then and there and was thrown off the waterfall. Because he now has to go to court with the cold heart of justice deciding his fate. He doesn't know it yet, but apparently if you play the song 100 times, you get 1,000 years in prison. So, he doesn't know that yet though. He thinks it's just going to be 10 or 5 years. So, they get to court, but first Patch tells Erna about Wren. Wren learns sign language, so they can speak now. Like, overnight, they pretty much just learn sign language. So, yeah, Erna just goes off. No one knows where he went. Oh, and he also takes Wren before the, court. So, goes down into a cell for a night, and the guy who's taking him down there says, I've never felt sorry about taking an inmate down here before, but this is the first time I have. So, yeah, Patch knows it's bad now. So, he goes to court, and it's going well for him. He's pleading, and they're accepting. And they're about to give him sentence for 5 years. But then Rundle Stone, the cold heart of justice, steps in and goes, well, actually, you played it 100 times. Yeah, cold heart of justice, Rundle Stone walks in. And he sentences Patch to 1,000 years in prison. And the council agrees. So, Patch just collapses. Tries to kill himself. But yeah, he goes into his prison cell reluctantly. And he kind of just accepts it, pretty much. But here's where it gets interesting. Dragons come. Thousands and thousands of dragons. And Patch says the name of the book. That's what a horde of dragons is called. A darkness of dragons. So yeah, he escapes when one of the dragons throws a boulder at his face. Oh, and also the Piper of Helmin's there. And the dragons kill the Piper of Helmin. Oh, do they? But no, they do. They burn him alive in front of Patch's eyes. But yeah, he takes his, magic helmet, or whatever it is, the magic obsidian helmet. The most powerful substance in the world, but the dragons don't like you using it because they have a secret, but you won't find that out until later. But yeah, so they're going along. But then, one of the dragons gets struck down. So Patch is like, poor thing. And Ren and Patch climb down. Ren is the rat, if you don't remember, and Patch is the human. He whistles, Patch whistles up some courage first. Then he whistles climbing. Now this is a song that makes you climb way better. So they climb down and they come across a mysterious clearing in the forest. And they find the dragon who fell down. And then the dragon just gets up. And it turns out he's a dragon griff. The hardy kind. There are two kinds of dragon griffs. The ugly but hardy kind, which is what Bava is. We later find his name out. But there's also the pretty weak kind. And I don't mean they're pretty weak, I mean they're pretty and weak. So yeah, Bava survived the fall because he's the hardy dragon griff. Oh, we just hit 11 minutes and 11 seconds. Yay. Maybe we'll hit 11 hours, 11 minutes and 11 seconds in about 11 hours. But, yeah. So Bava survives the fall. Somehow. And now they have a dragon griff on their sort of like team. So 3 people. Patch, Bava, Ren, the talking rat. So yeah, they go off and Patch finds a new coat on a dead man's corpse who's been mauled by a bear. Yeah. So that's interesting. And I'm going to end the video there. I'll see you next time, guys. So don't forget, we left off finding a new coat on a corpse.